Hey, Jason, thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you.
We'll get started here with Jeff McLean and then Ed Kratz.
Before I ask my question, Jason, are you going to answer it? Yeah.
I hear you, Jeff. What's up?
Okay. I want to make sure you're going to answer my question before I ask it, but okay, I'll go ahead anyway, since you're willing.
What's the question?
A lot's been said and asked of Nick about how he's handled practices and the vets getting 2 days off in the first 7 days, and how much of your advice was taken into account, and how do you feel now, and do you like the way he's handled this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this day and age, the sports science is a big part of all these decisions and whatnot. So, we have a group of, we have a team here that is, that's their job, is to really try and stay on the cutting edge of how to keep everybody in the best possible shape, try and make sure guys are ready to go for games, and try and be as healthy as we can throughout the season. Obviously, that's something that's plagued us the last few years, unfortunately. So, I'm the type of guy, I always want to be out there, to be honest with you. And I think most of us, we want to be out there, but, the reality is, I'm going on my 11th season, and most of the guys that are getting these off days or whatever are older guys, and they're telling us that we shouldn't do 3 days in camp right now because it heightens your chance of injury or whatever. So, you have faith with the people that you work with, and you trust the people that are experts in their fields, and you go with it. As a football player, you always want to be out there. As a leader, you always want to be out there. So I don't enjoy watching practice, but if that's what is the best thing for the team, the best thing for me, I guess that's what it is.
Go ahead, Ed, and then John McMullen.
Hey, Jason. I just want to ask you about going to the link in a couple hours here. Is it still an exciting time for you? The rookies and the second-year guys, I guess, are pretty pumped. How do you approach that? How do you still feel about going over there?
Well, I always love going over to Link, but it's going to be especially special having some fans out there. I mean, we just did a whole season without anybody in that place, and for us, the Link is such a home field advantage for us. Playing in front of our home fans is second to none. So to be able to go out there, be in front of people, be out there competing with each other, it always intensifies things a little bit, and I think all of us are looking forward to going over to Link and putting on a show here in a few hours.
Go ahead, John, and then Bo.
Hey, Jason. To us on the sidelines, it looked like the defense got the better of you guys yesterday. One, do you think that's fair? And two, you have that old football trope that the defense is usually ahead of the offense early.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changed a bit? Do you think you guys have struggled a bit to start this camp?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would, first of all, I guess, to answer the first part of it, I think the defense got the better of us, certainly in the situational competitive part yesterday, which would have been the third down situational, whether it was third and short, third and medium, third and long, at least with the ones. The twos and threes tended to do a little bit better. We ended up, I think, tying the defense as an entire group, but obviously as someone on the starting unit, my main objective is to make sure that we're getting the job done, and we got to get better, and that's what we're all here doing. I think, the old adage is probably pretty correct. On defense, if one guy makes a play or, beats an offensive lineman, the whole defensive unit wins. If on offense, if one guy makes a mistake, the entire offense loses. So in general, to be a successful offense, you really have to be a cohesive unit working as one. And, that's what we're out here trying to get done. We're out here every day trying to get better. And I'm happy with the way everybody's working. I'm happy with the attention to detail. I'm happy with the accountability that the coaches are taking with all the guys in the film room. So, I think there's a lot of positives going forward. Now we just got to, just keep getting better every single day.
Go ahead, Bo, and then EJ.
Hey, Jason. We asked you a lot of questions about Landon. Obviously, in the spring, we haven't been able to see him on the field since. What can you tell us about, what he's done, what kind of presence he is in that room, I guess?
He's definitely got a great personality. I mean, he's a great kid, funny, smart, energetic. Obviously hasn't been able to get on the field yet, but you can see it in the weight room. He's a strong kid. He's close, and when he does get out there, I know he's chomping at the bit right now. He's asking all sorts of questions to everybody. He's very involved, even though he's not out there. So, I'm excited to see what Landon does, and once he's out there with the pads on and back to doing what he loves, which is playing football.
EJ and then Zach.
Hey, Jason. Nick mentioned on Thursday, I think it was, that you guys were finishing up the install portion of camp where, you guys were going over new stuff. How does that change the way that you guys, approach offensively the next, couple practices now that, install is done?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're in an install period, you have your set plays that you're working on for the day, right? So everything's a little bit simpler, a little bit more, you know what you're getting into before you head out on the field, and that has advantages for not making mistakes when you're running plays that are new or you're getting back into the swing of things. Now once the install is done with, once we have all the plays in, then we can get more into hey, you got to be prepared to run whatever's called, which is much more similar to a game. You have plays in for a game, but at the end of the day, whatever comes in, you got to be able to execute. And so you start off with, maybe 4 or 5 run plays a day, and you got to know each and every look, each and everything about each and every one of those plays, and those are the ones you're going to go out there and run. Now, coming up here, we're going to have the whole arsenal at our disposal, and you got to be ready to do anything that's called at any given point.
Zach and then Tim.
Hey, Jason, someone has a follow-up to that. On a day-to-day basis, are there things you're trying to get specifically out of a practice? And you hear about veteran pitchers in spring training where they tinker with things or work on things during that period. Do you do that as a center during practices?
Oh, sure, and you do that in the regular season and practices as well. You're always working on something. Maybe you're working on making sure you get the right point on a blitz pickup. Maybe you're working on making sure today we're going to put our hands where they need to be. We're going to get both of our hands inside. Stout likes to refer to it as what's our one up? What's our one up for today? How are we getting better today? What's the one thing we need to improve today to be a better football player? And there's always things throughout camp, whether it's, punching and extending so that you're not susceptible to getting beat on games, whether it's, getting your hands up underneath and playing with leverage so you're not getting beat with power. That list is changing as you are going and improving. So, yeah, absolutely. You're always working on something, no matter what year you're in. And actually, there's a really awesome quote from Kobe Bryant that Nick shared with us last night, which was, one of the things that he felt as an older player as he got a little bit slower, a little bit, less physically gifted. He went right back to working on those fundamentals, working on the footwork. Felt like all these little things combined with his wealth of experience helped him to get more out of his career. So, you're always working on something like that.
Tim and then Martin.
Jason, what are you learning about Jalen Hurts as you work closely with him in the film room? What kind of player is he, and what are those meetings like?
Well, I played some football with Jalen last year, so I don't know that I'm learning anything that drastically different. He's been pretty consistent since he's got here. He's a great leader, he's got a great attitude about him. All he wants to do is win. All he wants to do is compete and beat the team across from him. So, and you can feel that each and every day. When it doesn't go that way, you can feel his frustration. I really like Jalen's intangibles. I really like how he goes about his work. I don't think that that's changed in the least. Now it's just, some new plays, some new coaches and everything. So we're all kind of starting from scratch again. But, that work ethic and who he is as a person will carry him through that.
Okay, we'll wrap it up here with Martin.
Hey, Jason. Obviously, with Isaac and Brandon being injured, you're playing next to the same guys, you played next to last year, and I was kind of curious how much farther you think those guys like Herbig and Sua and Driscoll are than they were last year, and what that says about your overall offensive line depth. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a year experienced now. They've got some games under their belt, so they feel a lot more confident. Matt Pryor's had an excellent camp at right guard, and now he's playing a little bit of right tackle because, when you're a backup offensive lineman, you got to play multiple spots. Same thing with Nate Herbig, who's also played really well at left guard. Now he's playing a little bit of center. Sua, unbelievable physical player since the moment he's been here. The big thing that's been holding him back is his time is just waiting for it all to click mentally, and for everything to take the right angle. We know what the playbook says for this specific look. Now what happens when that look isn't what we're expecting? Those little things, and you can see that progression in him as a player as well. And then Jack, I mean, I think that was his. I haven't played a whole lot of guard next to Jack. That was a new one for him the other day, and anybody who's new to playing guard, matched up with Fletcher Cox, you're always interested to see how he does. And I thought Jack went in there, battled his ass off, and it was a good day for him, especially for his first day doing it.
All right. Thanks for the time, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.